Welcome back, everybody. Wild Willy here. This is episode 9 of our Get OP and early DLC walkthrough. Starting here from the Mount Gelmir side of Grace. There's a couple of loose ends that we want to go all the way back to the beginning for. So we want to go back to the first step. I don't remember if I grabbed this during this setup. There was an earlier video setup where I was doing this and the video was crap, the audio was crap, so I just re-recorded it. There's another gold pickled foulfoot we can grab if it's still down there. Starting back from the first step or right around the back of the church. And we're looking for spirit springs. We're just gonna have a hop down and see if it's there or not. Double hop. And it's there, okay. So it's right over here. Some undead are gonna spawn out. You can hop back up. It's a double hop. You have to come around here and run at it from this direction and then hop on the second one. But because this is supposed to be beginner friendly, we're just gonna run. We're gonna take the long way back around. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna do this episode. There's a merchant under here. Gonna go ahead and say hi to him. Grab his butterflies. There's a cave right here. Demi-humans. Connects over to that island. There's a greater Church of Dragon Communion, and that's the lesser one. Got some more land octopi. Just grabbing the ruin fragment because it's shiny. We sneak around them. We should be able to start heading up. Up, come on. And there's gonna be a troll walking up the hill. We're just gonna ride past him. Remember, he's got the troll's roar, so keep moving and shout you off of torrent. So there's the Church of Ella. We're headed out over here. Drop down. We are running into a catacomb. We are literally just dipping in, grabbing a grave glovewort 1, and then dipping back out again. And that's going to allow us to get our fanged imps up to +1. Head past this guy with the torch. He's leading the way. Not a huge difference, but you know, we're min-maxing here a little bit. Can't be OP with +0 fanged imps. Gotta at least be +1. I'm actually gonna get him up to +3 for us before we go into Stormvale. We just gotta fight 3 imps, I believe. 2, and if you're unlucky, you fight a 3rd one. So we're done with that. We grabbed those 2 things, the gold pickled foulfoot, and we got the Site of Grace. So let's go and get what I actually came here to get, not just the Grace. So run down the stairs. That's a trap. That's not a good treasure. It's a paddling crate. It's a little thing you put in your hand, and it says stuff and whatever. I always hate picking them up. So there's our grave glovewort 1. That's it. We're getting outside, and then we're going to warp back over to Caelid, to Fort Ferret, and we are going to kill Grail for the first time. So hop on over here, Fort Ferret. I think we are level 20 at this point. So there she is. Equipment wise, we want to go down here. We can take this off. This was our boiled prawn that we used the one time, and we're going to put on one of our 2 gold pickled foul feet, or actually you put them both on. And then what we're going to do, we have our Morning Star equipped. If you've been following the walkthrough, it's going to be at least +8. It's got Hoarfrost Stomp on it, so it has frost buildup and blood loss buildup. We have our great turtle shell shield. to give us more stamina. That's going to be on our back, or we're going to be kind of two-handing our weapon. And what I'm going to do, just rune-wise, is I'm holding about 7,000 runes. We're going to kill Grail once. I'm going to show you the kind of little exploit, cheat, cheese, whatever you want to call it. It's just like any other enemy. You kill it. You go to Site of Grace, you rest, you get the runes, the enemy respawns. Grail is not meant to respawn. If you stand around and watch her die and grab the dragon hearts after she's dead, she will not respawn if you rest. But this way, if you rest quickly enough, she will respawn and you can farm her over and over again. It gets kind of tedious after like 3 times. And then when we start doing this, I'm not going to have you guys watch me whack Grail for 3 minutes. I'm just going to show you the Frost proc, and I'm going to show you the Bleed proc. I'm going to show you where to stand. We'll do a little review on how to do it. What I want you to do is when we get low, just going to ride over here and ride up on this little hump part. Okay, and then you just start whacking Grail. And when she gets low, you go ahead and go to your inventory and you eat your gold pickled foulfoot. And then you're going to turn around and you're going to sprint to the Grace. And then you're going to push your left joystick in and rest. And you should be able to rest and reset her and get her runes so you can farm her again. I'm only going to do it once. I will do the exploit so you can see that she's still there, but I won't kill her again. Just to be fair, in case any of you are doing the walkthrough and you mess it up and can't rest in time, you will have taken your gold pickle foulfoot. So you will get the extra runes. I want to say it's like a 15% boost. Instead of getting 50, you get like 65 or something. So you will get that. So we're going to use our sacred tier that we picked up towards the end of the last episode to get our flasks up. You can drink your flask. That'll make it just go a little faster because it's going to give you more strength and dex. So you'll hit harder. And at this point, we have 12 flasks that are +9. So that's pretty good. I think we might have all the sacred tiers. There might be some more golden seeds we're going to get. Okay, so we're coming up here. We're coming up on the little tentacle thing. I kind of angle myself up to the left because I'm, right-handed. I'm going to hit her. So what we're going to do is I want you to watch up in the left where you see her damage there. Right up there by my stat bar, you see we're doing a whopping 88 damage, which is why we want to have bleed and frostbite on our weapon. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that was a frost proc, the 9,000. And then we're going to keep going. 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, and that's just resetting your stamina. 13, 14, 15, and that was the bleed proc right there, the 13,000. So you're going to alternate back and forth 9,000, 13,000, 9,000, 13,000 until she gets low. You should be able to see when she's getting low enough where you think the last hit is going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording, and I'm going to whack away at her until we get low, and we're going to pick it up then. All right, so we're back. I've got her nice and low, as you can see. We should get one more frost proc, and then the next bleed proc is going to kill her. So I'm going to pull out my gold pickle foulfoot. 3, 4, 5, 6. And remember, she's going to get more resistant, so it might take more hits. So if you're counting them out, it might get progressively longer. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And that was our frost proc. So she's gonna, the next time we get a bleed proc, she's going to die. So remember, the plan is to, as soon as you see her twitch, you're gonna see the damage. She's gonna twitch. We're gonna turn around and sprint back towards the Grace. 3, 4, 5, 6. Monitor your stamina. 7, 8, 9. There she goes. All right, so we're running. We're headed for the Grace. We are hopping off, and we are resting. Okay? And again, apologies to anybody that messes that up, but that is the cheese, the exploit, the farm where you can do it over and over again. And there she is back again, so we can farm her up again. So like I said, in the interest of fairness to anybody who's doing the walkthrough, I didn't get her. I messed up. I couldn't get to the Grace. We're not going to use the runes from killing her again. So current stats, we're level 20. We picked up a couple of levels in the cave on the Altus Plateau where we got the smithing, mining, bell bearing 2. So we were 20, 14, and 20, 12, and 14. And we picked up a couple levels of vigor, 1 point of endurance, and 2 points of strength. So we need 4 more strength, so we're 18. Then we need 7 dex. And then what you want to do is with the remainder, you want to get vigor up to 25, and then we're done. And then, after this, if you're close to a level, you have some runes, you can go ahead and pop them to pick up a level. Ball farm a couple times, that'll get you the extra level there to get to 35. I'm just going to go ahead and pop some runes to get our vigor up to 26, and that's where we're going to stop. And then we are going to go ball farm anyway ourselves so that we can get some runes to equip our Bloodhound's Fang. And I did not finish the upgrade. That's funny. So level up again, 18, 17, and the final 3 into vigor. And then yes, I want to level up. Okay, so I need another 2,500. So let's just go do the ball farm. Let's hop back to the round table, because now we can put on the Bloodhound's Fang. I want to see where we are equip load wise. Can we put on a dagger? Yes, we can. If you're wearing heavier armor, you might not be able to, but at least this way we can put Golden Vow on one of the daggers, and then have Quick Step on another. We can always just switch back and forth, so that's not a big deal. So let's go to round table, hold. And we are going to check in with Hugh, the blacksmith. You can also go to EG, near Carrier Manor.
I took you for no matter, it's all out, you're up.
So we didn't use the rest of the runes to level up. So we're going to strengthen our Bloodhound's Fang as high as we can, and we should get to +6. 2, 3, 4, and we're out of runes. So we got to level 4. We need 5 and 6, so we're going to need about 4,000 for that. And then to level up, we're going to need another 7,500. So that would be like 6 trips to the ball farm if you don't have the runes. So let's go ahead and do that. We want to get 12,000 runes to finish leveling up the Bloodhound's Fang to +6, and we want to grab another level and dump it into vigor. And again, I'm just going to go there. I'm going to do it once. We will need to do it 5 more times after this, but I'm not going to make you watch me do the ball farm 6 times, just the first time. In case you're rusty. Down the hill we go. Grab the crafting materials if you want. Aim for a rock. Ball spawns in. Just run to the right towards the flowers. And back to the Grace. Okay. But like I said, the goal is 12,000 runes. We're going to pick up 1 more level, and we want to level up the Bloodhound's Fang 2 more times. So let me pause that and get that done, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so all done. Ball farming. Like I said, you should have done it 5 more times after I paused the video for you to go farm up your runes. We should have 12,000 now. We're going to go back to round table hold. You're going to get 1 level into vigor to 26. Okay, and then we are going to run in here, and there are a couple things we can do. I forgot about this. So we grabbed that Brave Glovelord 1, and we want to go ahead and upgrade our Fanged Imps once. Okay, and should still have enough runes. Go talk to Hugh again. And we can get our Bloodhound's Fang up to +6. All right, so a couple other little loose ends I want to take care of. We are going to grab a memory stone here, but first we're going to run down the cliff here and go into a catacombs. There's an Ash of War along the way that I want to grab, and we're going to run into the catacomb. And like I said, we have to kill minimum 2, maximum 4 imps coming up. The first one's going to be the hardest. Past time till morning. And the reason we're doing this now is there are going to be some of those bats that we have to run past. And the Ash of War is just a lot easier to hit with Bloodhound's Fang, because now we got reach. Look at that. Oh, love it. We're going to head out here, head out towards the south. There's a road that you can follow. For you newbies, these weird statues, if you go and interact with them, they'll point a laser beam at where the catacomb is, or you just travel in that direction. So the Ash of War is Sword Dance. It's right there. So we're going to line that bad boy up and just kind of just miss constantly. All right, so that is a good example of missing out on a ball because I did not have enough time. But what we're going to do is we're going to run into the cave. I'm sure you all got that. But in case you didn't, you can reset by resting at a site of grace. All right, and I'm gonna un-two-hand my weapon. I actually want to use my shield for this next part coming up. We're gonna rest. We're gonna grab a Grave Glovelord 1 and 2 real quick. All right, so the first guy, you see that Grave Violet there? The first imp is around the corner to the right. So we want to do this, and he should come out. And we are doing a guard counter and just whack. Guard counter, he bounces off our shield, and then you do right trigger to do a heavy attack, and that should, and there's the second one up, and he stabbed me. I might get bled here. Yep, and I might die. Oof. Up, and I'm dead. Okay. So busy talking about guard counters that I forgot about the second imp. So now we know where he is, and we're going to do this again. I'm going to do it again. And put our lantern on. Get our shield out again. And just roll back, trigger him. And these guys are not, like, they're weak to strike again. So our hammer, our Morning Star would be more effective. That just opened the boss room. So there's an imp down there behind us. Let me heal up. I got dinged. So we're going to grab these two. There's a 3, and there's our 2. If you want it, you can grab the other 2. Well, actually, that was the 2. So we got 2 3s and a 2. So now we can get our fanged imps, and we're just going to leave. I'm going to rest in case something's chasing us. Now we're going to try and go grab the ball, the scarab. So that's really what we were after. The scarab is along the way. For you veterans, you know you can quit out and load back in. It's kind of a weird spot to be doing that. All right, there we go. Sword dance, really like that one. Pairs really well with one of the DLC weapons. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna swing around here. Got more of the Erd Tree Guardian dudes. And we're headed for that tower. This is gonna be another memory stone. It's a puzzle you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to Raya Lucaria and get a, I call them the Burger King masks. Oh, my man, Fighting Cowboy called them. You look like the Burger King dude, the Glintstone Sorcerer mask. And you're supposed to like do an emote or something like that, and it opens up the puzzle if you go in there. But there is another way to get there. We're gonna hop on Torrent and we are gonna ride up the wall. Right up there. And just ride, ride, ride. You do not need to jump until you get to here. And just one little hop, otherwise you're gonna fall down. Okay, there's a little loot we can grab. We can grab the magic grease and try again. But like I said, you don't need to jump during that first part. You just need to hop when you get to that little wall in front of you. And I'm not doing this well. All right, a little hop. Another little hop. Oh. Beginner friendly. Doing this on purpose. Now I'm just being silly. Okay. All right, let's get dialed in. Try to do this for real. Nope. This is like back in episode 2, if you guys remember that one. That's where I was fighting the Golden Vow Knight. Back at the very beginning of the game, and he killed me 4 times. All right, so this is where we want to be. We want to double hop up there, and I missed again. You just want to hop up there so that you're on the path. All right, hop. Walk, walk, walk. All right, now we want to, there we go. Hop off Torrent. Could have gone for the trifecta and fallen down the elevator shaft. Probably would have been trapped in the tower. Could just warp out, but... All right, and there's our memory stone. And then we're just gonna warp back to the Grace. Get rid of that mark. What we're doing next is we are gonna ride under this. This is a plateau, and we are heading for the Albinuric village there. Another site of grace that we want to grab, and we're going to grab a bunch of Trina's lilies and I think a couple mushrooms along the way. So we're just headed right down there to that break, that kind of big archway. Staying off to the right. Again, they have the marionette soldiers. I'm gonna land on one of them. Fortunately, that was a spear one and not one of the archer ones. All right, some crabs, poison bloom. And this, I jokingly refer to as St. Trina's tree, because when you get here, this guy, you see them all spawn in, sleep pots for days. Okay, and then we are headed for, we're gonna head up there. So we want to head for the base. Another poison bloom. I think that's a mushroom over there, yep. And there are more mushrooms up here. But this is kind of like, you forgot, oh, I wasn't grabbing all the mushrooms and Trina's lilies. Get a bunch of them here. Another one. Trina's lilies do not respawn. The mushrooms do. So we're just here for this grace. That's it. And then the Slater. Go ahead and rest. Make sure no albinurics are after us. Now we are going to go back to the round table. We're going to upgrade our fanged imps. Might have to pop a golden rune or two, but you should have plenty. And if you don't, you're back off to Lenne's Rise to the Ball Farm. So let's talk to her. How much is this going to cost me? Level 2, we're good. And then level 3, I need another 700. So I need pop one worth 800. You should have plenty at this point.
Greetings, are you here for spit?
Alright, so now our fanged imps are +3. So that dungeon that we went past, or the catacombs we went past on the Altus Plateau earlier, where was it? We ran up here, ran past the lake, ran past the mariner to the Wyndham Catacombs. That has the miners, or the whatever, the grave glovewort bell bearing 1, which lets you buy the 1, 2, 3s in an unlimited amount. Since we're only using the fanged imps for the first part of the game, and then we're going to go to the ghost gloveworts, we're going to go ahead and skip that. So next up, I think we're going to, let me tell you the game plan here. We're going to go back over here to, and you probably easier to come from the Third Church of America. We're going to go to our first underground region, and we're going to run through. We're going to grab the map. We're going to teleport to another area. We're going to grab a ghost glovewort that we want for later. And then we are going to we want to head out south towards the Erd Tree. It's on the way. We're just going to head down there and grab the grace, and that's where we're going to pick up the next episode. And if you want to, like run around Limgrave a little bit, go back to Gatefront, whack people with the Bloodbound Fang if you're not used to it. That's fine. The enemies there aren't worth a lot of runes. They're not going to drop anything that's really valuable. You could go back to Weeping Peninsula and farm the little Mausoleum Knights, the headless dudes, to maybe get some more armor than what we're wearing, if you want. Fight some undead dudes, learn about the double tap. You could equip the Morning Star with Sacred Blade so that you don't have to double tap them, and farm the 1 by the 1 church to try to get the Bandit's Curved Swords if you want to play around with that. That's an option. But that's just for you new folks who are getting used to the Bloodhound's Fang, because this is way different. Heavier, slower, but also way more reach and way more powerful at +6 than what we were dealing with. This is like a +18 Morning Star, and our Morning Star was I think what, +8? So let's just ride down and we'll grab the Grace, and then we will pick up our next episode from here. Long elevator ride. So how y'all doing? Doing good? Enjoying the walkthrough? Like and subscribe, leave a comment if you haven't already. Appreciate y'all being here. Really love playing Elden Ring, and you know, nice to have you guys along for the ride. So let's wrap up here, and I'll see you again in the next episode.